What is going on, everybody? Wally back with another video. It's weird talking about myself in the third person like that, so I'm gonna start that over. I'm back with another video. There we go. That's a little bit better. I don't like Wally back. Like, I know who I am, but you may not. I am Wally. Anyway, we're talking about a certain weapon that came out with the House of Wolves DLC recently, and it's one of those PoE exotic weapons that you had to get from Elder Cipher. I'm talking specifically about the QueenBreaker's bow. Now, I'm going to throw some stats on screen, and I'm going to walk through here, and I'm going to give you my opinion on this weapon, and then I'm going to give you an honest opinion on how I really feel about this gun. I'm just going to be straight up honest, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think this gun, first and foremost, is utterly broken. It is probably the most broken gun since the original Soros regime in terms of its adaptability and usability really in PvP. Now, to break it down, it's got an impact of about 22, so this one sort of changes with the sight, but generally the combat sights, which is pretty much everything I've been using in this video, hits for about 228 give or take and like 150 on a body shoot, 228 on a headshot. So it hits relatively hard, so one shot any way you look at it. It's got a range of about 60, so give or take, it's got some pretty decent range. Not the standard sniper rifle, but it's got enough range that most of the maps you find yourself on, you're going to be able to range kids and have a good time. Stability, not really a factor on sniper rifles. It is sort of, if you do miss your first shot and you're getting hit, the chances of you being able to sort of counter snipe or get that person back is relatively low due to the low stability and sort of the flinch you're going to receive from that. But I think a lot of people can roll with it. The reload, again, not a huge factor on sniper rifles or fusion rifles, but it can be. Charge rate's about 22. Again, this is a little deceiving. It's a little bit faster than that, especially with the combat sights on. But it still sort of sets the precedent for how the rifle works in practice. So ideally, my biggest tip for this is really when you walking around with it, just have it kind of pre-charged, you know, start fooling around with your right trigger and sort of just tap it. You know, you're sort of charging it up, revving up the engine a little bit. That way, if you do run around the corner and you are fighting someone, you don't have to go through the entire charge time, which is about a second, second and a half, give or take. And instead, you'll have a full burst almost ready to let go. Now, the aim assist value, and this is probably where the most overpowered portion of this entire weapon starts off. The aim assist value is about 80. Now, hidden hand, still unsure exactly what hidden hand does. There's a lot of theories on this one that hidden hand or aim assist increases the size of the hitbox for the headshot. I would say that after looking at this weapon for some time and testing out hidden hand on another sniper rifle, I would say that yes and maybe no. I'm not 100% sure. I'll wait for someone who's a little bit more fluent in the sort of mechanics, especially the perks like this one, to go ahead and correct me or at least get better information out there. It's got an equip speed of about 50. Again, I run single point sling on this one, and it just comes out instantaneously. It's very quick. Recoil direction about 60, and this is, from what I understand, how fast your crosshair comes back in the center of your screen or how fast you can get it back in the screen. Zoom about 25, standard first sights. Pretty chill. I'd say it's the combat sights are very close to, not necessarily ambush, but they're not mid-zoom either. Somewhat like short gaze, give or take, right in there. Maybe a little bit less than that. Very, very solid sights. Very, very useful for anybody who wants to be able to sort of run and gun with a sniper. The other thing that on this weapon is its magazine size of 6. This is largely deceptive. It has a magazine size of 6, but it has the ability to carry upwards to 50 shots in PvP games. So all you got to really do, to just make sure you're good to go, is pick up one special ammo crate at relatively the early stages of the game. Pretty much good for the rest of the game at that point, so as long as you're not just throwing shots away. That is probably one of the biggest drawbacks or biggest push forwards for this weapon. Drawbacks in terms of it being overpowered and push forwards in terms of it being awesome. It's the fact that most of their snipers, you may get maybe 6 shots off standard, a little bit more if you have field scout, and you can always carry more if you carry more special ammo, carry more sniper rifle ammo, give or take, but you never have that many shots. You don't have 50 shots on backup or in reserve. You have maybe at most 14 plus the clip, so you have give or take 20 at one point. This weapon sort of changes that entire mentality where you always have ammunition. I don't know if they didn't patch it, if they didn't put this into the special. I think that will get patched at a certain point here in the next couple patches once more people are taking a look at this. But again, I think that the fast charge rate, the fact that it's way too easy to use in my opinion, it's relatively a one-shot. The hipfire value is insane on this one. You can run around hipfire people with it and do work. That all coupled with the fact that you can carry 50 shots around and it's a fusion rifle that acts as a sniper rifle, it's very, very difficult to sit here and say that this weapon is not overpowered. I personally think it is. Maybe I'm just doing extraordinarily well with it. I don't like to talk about my personal skill, but I think that personally this weapon is overpowered. I'm a big proponent for balance. I love awesome guns, but at the same time, I do not love getting the ability to just have this unseen advantage on other players because I have a weapon and they don't. That's just completely ridiculous in my opinion. I don't want to sit here and crutch this one. If you guys have come to the streams, you know that I sit here and run this as my primary, and I've been doing it for the past 2 days. It is completely unfair at certain points, I would say. And it's not because I'm some god tier player. The good Lord did not come down and grant me some obscene skill on the sticks. I think it's legitimately because this weapon needs to be looked at one more time. And generally, I'm never really hypercritical on any weapons besides like the Thorn and Last Word. Everyone's critical about those. But for a weapon like this, people want to talk about balance. People want to preach MLG and esports and stuff like this. Weapons like this cannot exist simply because they just do not fit the criteria of being balanced. Now, for the rest of the video, I'm just going to show you some gameplay. I mean, the whole time I've been showing you gameplay. But I want to get your guys' take on it. Your opinion, your feedback is really important to me because I like the little community we have going here. We sort of have like a microcosm of some pretty intelligent conversations going on in chat. And we really kind of shy away from that negative, narcissistic kind of BS that some other channels have. And I want to keep that. That's what I really like about this channel, really like about you guys, is you guys voice your opinions. But at the same time, I would say majority of the time, like 75% of the time, 75% of the comments are relatively respectful. And that's really all I care about. So if you have an opinion, please voice it. If you disagree with me, please let me know. I'm cool with that. If you have any further questions, hit me up on Twitter. Of course, follow me on Instagram. Download my Kazaa mixtape. And make sure you follow me on Tumblr. I'm one of the best bloggers on Tumblr. All joking aside, I really do appreciate you guys being in here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. That will do it for me. I love you all very much. So much love. Oh my God. I'm crying. You guys are awesome. Peace.
Disappear in silhouettes. You and I, we are nothing in the dark. So burn me up tonight. I come alive in the bright light. So burn me up tonight. I come alive in the bright light. Turn me on till I'm glowing neon. Turn me on till I'm glowing neon.
push and victory is yours.